Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is your friend Shinobi, and today we have the Mi 10i with us, which was recently launched in India, and it is also globally known as the Redmi Note 9 Pro 5G. So today we're gonna unbox it, and I'm gonna share my first impressions about this particular device with you all. So stay tuned till the end, hit that like button, and let's hit that intro. Okay, so the unboxing is pretty straightforward. We have a Mi box. There is a lot of branding out here. So on the front you can see the phone, and beside that you can see Snapdragon 750G and the big OS 5G logo, and at the top you can see 108 megapixels written and made in India, which is somewhat true. And at the back you can see some more specifications like the 120 Hz display and that again 180 megapixel camera and all that stuff. And the price for which this particular smartphone has launched in India is like 21,000 rupees for the 6GB 64GB version, and 23,000 rupees for the 6GB and 128GB version, and like 24,000 rupees for the 8GB and 128GB version. Now opening the box up, we get a box inside it in which you'll find the SIM ejector tool, some documentation and the case, which has a frosted back. Now going back to the phone, we have the phone here. Let's keep it aside, and below that we have the USB Type-C cable and a 33 watt power adapter, which is really nice that Xiaomi is providing such a fast charger in it. Now let's keep all this aside and quickly check out the phone. So here is the wrapping out, and the first time you see this particular back, you're like quite amazed. I am quite amazed after seeing this particular color. So this is the Pacific Sunrise color, and yeah, it has a dual tone finish, a blue and orange kind of finish, and it is also matte textured, which is like very awesome because it's gonna resist fingerprints very well. And yeah, this is the only color which has the matte back. The rest of the colors are glossy. So yeah, I believe this one is the best color among the three which you get. Now let's quickly turn the device on and let's check out everything about it. Okay, so it's been about like 18 to 19 hours that I am using the Mi 10i as my primary device. I've got my main SIM in it, and to be honest, the experience is like mixed. First of all, this is a very heavy and a very large phone, so using it with one hand is really difficult because after using it for some time your hands start to like strain a little bit, which is like not good at all. And yeah, when you put on the included case in it, then the phone becomes even heavier, and yeah, it's more difficult to use. So this is one thing that I really don't like. Now this is one of the negative points that I find out about this phone, because this phone is really heavy, and yeah, phones shouldn't be this heavy. And also this has a large 6.67 inch display, which is an LCD display, and it has a 120 Hz refresh rate, which is also an adaptive refresh rate, which like brings some like UI stutters and stuff, because I believe it is not optimized that well, or else the 750G processor which is inside it is not keeping up with the 120 Hz refresh rate, because the UI elements are not smooth all the time. Most of the apps don't really use 120 Hz, and yeah, it's like randomly keeps changing between like 60 Hz and 48 Hz and all that. So the like switching between apps and the UI elements is not that smooth. Sometimes like the UI is super smooth, sometimes it's a little jarry and a little stuttery. So I didn't really like that. So I hope Xiaomi can fix this with a software update. Now when you're setting up the phone, you will get the option of additional settings in which you'll find the personalized ads and stuff. So just uncheck all that and turn off everything, after which like there will be a lot of bloatware apps inside. So just uninstall all those, because after doing all this I didn't really get any ads yet in this phone. So that's a good thing, I believe, but in the future you may or may not get ads, so we cannot say for sure. Now another few things that I noticed in the UI is that instead of the Me Dialer and messaging app, you have the Google Dialer and messaging app, which are like inferior to the Me ones, because like their categorizes and their features are way less. So I don't know why Xiaomi is doing this, replacing their like dialer app and messaging app with the Google ones. But yeah, that is another thing that I didn't like. Now again, talking about that display, the display is very nice. It has very good colors. Okay, but it is like not that bright, to be honest. It is not that bright on the level of AMOLED screens, to be honest. So this is an LCD display, and yeah, it looks really good, but it is not really usable that much outside because the brightness is not that high. Now another thing that I am really confused about is if the frame is metal or plastic, because it is also matte and it doesn't feel cold to the touch. So I'm not sure if those are like plastic or metal. So if any of you know, just like comment it down below. So one thing, the back camera design looks like the Redmi K30 had a baby with the Poco X3 and this was spawned. So yeah, the back design, like I don't really mind the camera design, but yeah, it is a hefty phone and there is a little bit of camera bump. It's not much, but yeah, the camera bump is there, so make sure, although the included case like covers the camera bump very well, and yeah, if you are using it without a case, so keep that in mind. It will wobble when you keep it flat on a surface without the case, to be honest. Now talking about performance, my initial impressions are good, I would say, apart from that bug with the 120 Hz refresh rate. If you put it in 60 Hz, it will work superbly fine. Okay, and yeah, the performance is really good, and gaming is also quite fine. There were minor stutters in Asphalt 9, and like Call of Duty played really well, so you don't need to worry about that. The 750G is a very capable processor, and it is said to be a more powerful processor than the 765G present on the OnePlus Nord and stuff. But I don't really get why it is named as 750G if it is more powerful than the 765G. So Qualcomm's naming is weird. Now this phone comes with MIUI 12 on top of Android 10. Yeah, Android 10, still no Android 11, and I hope it rolls out soon, because this is a new phone. It is launched in January itself, and it should have been out with Android 11 out of the box, but that's not the case. And also the security patch was October when I like opened the phone, then a software update was given which I like changed it to the November one, but still a phone launching in January with a November security patch it's not really good. Now battery life has been fine up until now. So when I opened the phone, it was on 65% battery, and it gave me around 3 to 3.5 hours of screen on time, because I was like installing all my apps and stuff and setting up the phone. So though all those, it took like a little bit of battery out, but yeah, apart from that, I think the battery life should be good enough. So I have to test it a lot. So right now I have charged the phone to 100%, and I'm gonna use it for another day, and I will like test out how the battery turns out. And yeah, I will keep updating you guys on Twitter, so if you can just give me a follow there, the links will be down in the description, and you can also follow me on Instagram if you'd like that. Now moving on, there is a side mounted fingerprint sensor here, which is very fast and very accurate. So yeah, it unlocks the phone very quickly. There is a little bit of animation lag, but apart from that, the fingerprint sensor itself is really fast. Now we also have like stereo speakers in this particular phone, which is an absolutely good thing. Okay, and yeah, the speakers are very loud and very clear, although they lack like the bass output. The bass output is not that good, but yeah, they are very loud and clear, and you will definitely enjoy watching movies and listening to music on these stereo speakers, and it is a very good thing that Xiaomi has included it here. since there are like, since this has stereo speakers, so the earpiece, okay, so the earpiece acts as a secondary speaker, which in turn also improves the loudness while you're taking calls, which is a very good thing. And the mic is also very clear. You also have a 3.5mm headphone jack in this, which is like a scarcity these days, but yeah, it is there, and mid-rangers shouldn't like omit the headphone jack because it is still very important to a lot of people. We also have an IR blaster in this, which can be really useful if you're like planning to use your phone as a remote for your appliances and stuff. Well, if we talk about the camera configuration, so we have 4 cameras in total, 108 megapixel primary sensor and 8 megapixel ultra wide, and 2 megapixel depth sensors. Like an 8 megapixel ultra wide is not that great, to be honest, and the 2 megapixel cameras are like worthless, but the 108 megapixel primary camera, which is a Samsung ISOCELL sensor, is a really good camera, although it lacks like a little bit of white balance, okay, but the dynamic range is really good and the quality of the pictures is really good. So in the default mode it shoots like 12 megapixel photos, so it is doing pixel binning, combining like 9 pixels, okay, so 108 divided by 9 equal to 12 megapixel. So yeah, it's doing that and churning out 12 megapixel photos in the default mode. So you can go to the more settings and you can turn on the 108mm mode to shoot 108MP photos, which like gives insane amount of detail in your photos, and you can zoom in very like further, okay, to click photos, and it will still look really good. So that is a really good thing. And yeah, in this price range, 108 megapixel camera is like the first, to be honest, but with that the other cameras don't really do justice to this particular camera system. So at least we could have got a 12 megapixel or a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera, which would be a much better quality camera. But yeah, this 8 megapixel is okay-ish, to be honest. Okay, so we have a USB Type-C port and a 33-watt fast charger in the box, which like took about 1 hour 40 minutes to charge the phone from 0 to 100, because this phone has a 4850 mAh battery, which is very large, and I am using this phone at like the 120Hz mode, so we have to see how the battery turns out. Well, that's about it for this video about the unboxing and first impressions about the Mi 10i, which was launched in India on 5th of January, and the first sale was on 7th of January. I got it on the first sale, and yeah, I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, then don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with everyone who's planning to buy this particular phone, or even if is moderately interested in this. So yeah, with that said, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and that's about it. I'm your friend Shinobi, and I'm signing out. Peace.